everybody would like to take their seats, or whatever you want to do.
Well, we're going to stay here. We're going to stay here for this.
Okay. Didn't kill myself. Yay.
This is such a fancy dining room.
Fancy, yeah. Dining room. It's not a dining room. Yep.
Testing.
Hello, everybody. Hi. Are you all ready to see what Furry Network has? You're probably
all-
right.
Are you ready to see what Furry Network is all about, ladies and gentlemen?
Yay.
Yay! Yeah! This is the hypo! Yeah!
Thank you, everybody, for showing up.
Yep. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we know that this was originally scheduled for a Sunday at, was it 4:30?
4:30 to 5:30.
Yeah, so unfortunately we weren't able to get the change through on the convention guide fast enough, but it's okay. We'll probably also be there.
Right. No, you guys are here, and that's all that matters, right?
Cool. So let's go through our list.
Mm-hmm.
So hello, everybody. My name is Varka. This is Zukaza.
I'm Sukaza.
And this is Nars, right here. Okay.
Yep.
Hi.
This guy.
Hi. Thanks for coming, everybody. I know that this isn't a big turnout because everybody's in the dealer's den right now, but we really appreciate it.
Yeah. So we've got a couple of things that we want to show you today, and we've got a couple of things that we'll be handing out. I think they're probably going to do the handout at the end. We also have pizza coming, funnily enough.
Compliments of Round Table.
Yay. So first thing we wanted to kind of go over was an introduction of who we are and, you know, what motivates us and why we decided to work on Furry Network. You want to go first? Okay. So my name is Varka. I love to make things, and I love building infrastructure and stuff that helps other people be creative and do things that, you know, they enjoy. You know, I started out doing sculpting and crafty stuff a long time ago, and then I kind of found my niche is like the things that help people do fun things. So my background is very much in infrastructure. So E621 is an art site I'm sure some of you will be familiar with. FList is another site. We've been running websites for quite a while, and I love making awesome things for people.
Right on. My name is Sukaza. What really drives me regarding the furry fandom is the creativity that everybody has. Much like Varka, I enjoy supporting those ideas, those imaginations, and seeing them come to life, and just kind of being the hype man, as it were. One of the big things about this community is it's always growing. It's a living, breathing, thriving kind of community, and we're always evolving. Social media just pretty much outbursted that totally, and I'm really excited to see what the future of the fandom holds.
Well, my name's Nars. I've been drawing forever, ever since I was a kid. And it's fun to go back and look at the old art and see how much you've improved over the years. But for me, art is real important. It's a big passion of mine. And I love being part of this community because everybody here is so supportive, so creative. This community creates its own content and thrives itself forward. You know, I look at like Marvel and Disney and everything there. It's great, but they create it and then the fans go forward with it. We create our own stuff and then we go forward with it. That's what makes us so cool. But anyway, before we go too far into introductions, let's just get to the meat and potatoes of this thing.
Absolutely.
So the first thing I wanted to talk about was the site progress. What has changed since the last time we did a panel here? We did a panel a year ago, and we had some screenshots to show everybody. And this is what we presented. It was a very basic art site. This was all screenshots. This wasn't actually a usable site at the time. But we're now proud to say that we have a fully working site. And we spent a lot of time on making it as user-friendly as possible, about making it a really enjoyable experience to use. And one of the things that we're really privileged to be able to do is to make this a long-term thing. So, for example, one of the key benefits we have is that we're not necessarily reliant on donations. We've made a big effort to hire professional developers and really make the site, you know, last a long time.
And part of that is because of the passion of everybody else in the community, the feedback that we've received throughout the years, being able to give that to a more modern day company that can actually provide us with this site. As Varka mentioned, we're really blessed to have you guys.
Yeah.
Sorry if it looks blurry. I promise if you guys go on your phones or on a tablet or something, it doesn't look as blurry as it is up here. I'm assuming it's just the way the projector's going right now, but Varka's going to walk through it a bit.
So the main thing is the site is live, it's real. We have been working really hard on making the gallery experience really good, multimedia and stories really good. The key thing that we feel is important is that it has to be like easy to use a site, and it has to be obvious what you need to do.
Intuitive.
Yeah, there you go. And so what we've been working on is building a site that we feel the fandom deserves. We've put a lot of effort into making it really easy to do everything that you kind of want to do with a site. And one of the aspects of that we've realized is, if I can full screen this, we know that mobile support is going to be a big one. Let me dust this along. There we go. So, for example, the site, I mean, it's going to be a little blurry, but the site scales to very, very large screens. And actually, as you switch to a tablet, the layout changes, and you have the navigation. Everything works on mobile, regardless of whatever device you're on. And then on a phone, it's also optimized to suit that. So if you browse the site from any device, you will get a good experience.
Again, speaking of the evolution of technology with the fandom as a whole, you basically are able to get all these peripherals, regardless of what you use, and be able to enjoy the site.
Something that I think you failed to mention, the guys that we hired to do this are professionals. They know exactly what they're doing, really amazing team, and they built this site ground up to work on mobile devices first. Because it was built to work on mobile devices first and then scale up to a web browser or whatever you use at home, it runs so smoothly on phones and tablets. It's nuts. Mm-hmm. Because you can't build an app for something like this and then put it on the App Store due to adult content, you have to work within the confines of the browser that you have on your phone or tablet. And that's where these guys really shine. It makes a huge difference if you give it a chance and go try it out on a phone. Again, I'm sorry it's so blurry, but trust me, it won't look like that when you pull it up on any device you got.
And again, as we're constantly evolving, there is support that we are looking for regarding applications. Like not necessarily the entire site regarding the application, but there are maybe helper things or little companion apps that we're looking to see potentially launch for the site as well in the future. Like
notifications on your phone. I think we can do that.
Yeah, I think that's possible.
So I've kind of given, a very, very basic tour of some of the gallery aspects. I'm going to hand over to Nars here in a second to go over some of the artist side of things, and to kind of explain what things we've incorporated from that side of things. There you go.
All right. So as I mentioned at the beginning, I really like art. I think a lot of people here do. And by art, it doesn't have to necessarily mean just art. It can be music, anything creative, and that's where this fandom really strives. It pushes forward with everything. One of the biggest fears I've always had ever since I first got online and started posting art is, where is it going to be 10 years from now? How secure is the site? Is some third party going to buy it out and it's going to disappear at some point? So my biggest fear is, will my gallery just get stripped down? Will everybody leave the site? Will there be no reason to post on it anymore? Do I have to start from scratch? And that's one of the big reasons we started this site, is to have our own place that we call home that we know is not going anywhere. We are in control. We're going to have the community back it up, and it's 100% safe and secure. So as an artist, I am very visual. I absolutely love being able to just drag and drop things. So if Varka could show you, when you go to submit something, it's the most easy, streamlined thing I've had to do yet. You can literally just take a submission and drag and drop it into your gallery. And before it even gets put into any of the options that you have, which are public, unlisted, or draft, I'm going to explain those in a sec, you can edit it, you can add tags to it, you can put your description down, you can mark it as safe or not safe, adult. And one of the things that's so nice about it is if you put it into an unlisted category, it's essentially a private picture. You can share it with somebody via link and just, I don't know if it was a commission or a friend and you wanted to show it to somebody and you didn't necessarily want it to be public yet, that's what unlisted would be used for. Now draft, on the other hand, is just for you, the user of the account. So I kind of see this as a way to upload all works in progress or art I'm not going to post publicly to I want to say cloud. I don't know if I would call it that, but it's a gallery online that I have access to all of my art, not necessarily the public, and I can just bring it up anytime I want on any device, as opposed to doing some server through like Dropbox or something. That's one of the most appealing things to me as an artist, is that I can keep track of everything on here. And when I decide, yeah, it's finally ready to be public, I can click a little box, boom, public. Perfect. Nice and easy, very visual. I don't have to read a lot of things to figure it out because I'm not too smart with computers a lot of the time. But that's kind of one of the big motivating factors behind this. A lot of these features have been made due to what the community says. We want you guys to give us ideas and tell us how to make these changes. And that's where it ended up this way. If you were to look back at it a year ago, it didn't look like this, and it wasn't nearly as streamlined. So much of the stuff has come from just people being open and telling us what they want. You know, that's probably about it for me on the art side. I think I'm going to pass the mic back to Varka before I start making bad jokes.
But yeah, just as a wrap up, it gives you control of your hub. This is now your personal hub that you can use on all your peripherals.
Yeah. What I just demoed, I'm not sure if it was too clear on here, is uploading multiple images at once, editing multiple images at once, and being able to move things around and add them to folders and so on.
Sorry to steal the mic. Tags. Tags are an artist's best friend and worst nightmare, at least with me. When I upload something, I hate having to tag every little thing. I'll upload it and I'll tag what I can think of at the time. And for those of you that don't know what tags are, that's the little blue boxes next to the submission. Just makes it easier for searching. So if somebody wants to find like Rocket Raccoon gray shorts, you can find it if it was tagged properly. I'll upload it, I'll put whatever tags I can think of at the time, and that's it. I never edit it after that. One of the things that we were wanting to add is community support, so that if somebody wants to suggest a tag for it, I, the artist, can approve it and say, yeah, that's right, go ahead. I just check a box, and all the tags people submit that are appropriate for that piece will get added. So the community can add tags to it, so I don't have to. And that's awesome. I don't have to worry about it. That's one of those features like, why hasn't anybody done that yet? That's amazing. I just thought of that.
Yeah. So as he was explaining it, it was adding community tags. This is a good example of something that you can add. You can go and help improve artists' tagging for their submissions. Again, works on mobile as well. On the story and multimedia side, we've actually made it so that you can upload really, 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 really big images. The limit right now, which is just an arbitrary limit we put in to start off, is 32 megs. So if you have a massive Photoshop file, you can actually upload it. The zoom obviously reflects that. We've also got story support with, you can change fonts, you can embed images, you can do all sorts of fun stuff. Oh yeah, we can do walk through the stories.
Please, story time.
Yeah, okay. So we'll go to Varka.
My favorite's the cat and the bird one.
Yeah, the stories. And so I have a short story by Varka with some auto-generated text. And I just copy-pasted most of this, but it's still, my left donut is missing. Yeah. But one of the, we paid a lot of attention to typography as well. So for example, you can get serif fonts. So if you're reading it on an iPad or another device that really benefits from fixed paragraph widths and so on, you can use that. We also have a light theme in case you're in the dark one is particularly good for at night, but if you're out and about, the lighter one is usually better for that.
Similar to stuff you'd find from like a Kindle or the other peripherals that you'd have as kind of like your ebook as a sense.
Yeah. So we don't just have story support. We also have really good multimedia support. You can have Flash, music, video, WebM video, which is slightly higher quality for the size. You can even do waves. But we set the limit to about 200 meg. We look forward to people trying to push that. Because we've tested up to 2 gig and it works just fine. So yeah, this is again part of the way we deal with feature requests in the community. We're very interested in what you folks have to say and what you want with voting and so on. Community for you?
Yep. So I'll touch base in regarding the community. So Furry Network is a tight group of individuals, very talented. And again, my big thing regarding entering the furry fandom was the sense of community that everybody has. The different friends, the different niches, everything comes together. Like there's nothing like that's like too sacred regarding just a group. Everyone's family. So we're trying to build a site that reflects the needs of the furry fandom. That's one of our core values, and that's what's really important for us for the networking site. So one thing to help out with that is our messaging functions. If you could pull that over.
Yep. I'm going to do it on my profile because I have messages. There we go. So one thing we built was this beautiful messaging system.
Yes. So the messaging system is akin to live messaging. Where you're able to see your friends, see commissioners, commissionees, and be able to message them very easily, fluidly. It's, again, akin to instant messaging, so it's immediate, it's responsive. It's not like email, where you have to kind of like wait and sit or kind of jump around like, Skype. Basically, we have it all into one centralized location.
Sorry, the other thing is that it's all threaded, so you're not dealing with like an inbox style where it's reply to no subject, reply to no subject. We've all been there.
Yeah.
Trying to find anything then that is a bit of a nightmare. We've also got a search, so if you need to find something later on, you don't have to sift through 800 messages.
And later on, when we go over the commission side of everything, that's going to be a big thing, again, that this will bring to the fandom as a whole, is just the intuitiveness that we can bring to Furry Network, to the community. And then, Varka, if you'd like to touch regarding the tools for content rating.
Oh, yeah. So one of the things that we feel is very important in the community is choice. In this particular case, it's a matter of you can change what content you do and do not want to see. So we've implemented blacklisting, so you can type in, say you don't like foxes, you don't want to see foxes, you type in foxes. Sorry, foxes.
We love you, foxes.
If I typed in dragon, the demo would basically be over. What will happen then is that across the entire site, anything that is, any image, any story, anything that's tagged with fox, you just won't see, it won't show up. For later functionality, we've actually added, let me make this bigger so we can see it. There we go. I've also added, we've also got interests, so in the future, we'll be able to recommend content to you based on things that you're interested in. And again, in the matter of control, you've got the ability to mute people, so that's the socially acceptable blocking where you don't want to hear what they have to say, but you don't really want to deal with that. But it's also useful for people that you're not necessarily interested in seeing every submission they submit. But you still want to be able to, chat with them. And then there's blocking, which is a fantastic tool for resolving situations without necessarily needing to involve the administrators.
And just touching base on the administrative side, we want to ensure that the professionalism goes also on the back end too, where the logistics lie within Furry Network. So with that said, we do have a paid team of administrators that do help you out with any kind of qualm or query that you may have. But first and foremost, we want to give you guys the tools to kind of situate it yourself, since you're the ones in the game. Like, you are the ones in the heat. So we want to support you guys wherever we can, but just let you know you do have that backbone support as well.
So a good example is, I'm not sure if you can quite see it, but there's a button in the corner called flag. If you click on it, then there's a list of reasons of things that you can report on the site without having to open a ticket or go off to another site or another page that lets you report something easily. Now this is again a very useful tool for quick feedback. So for example, if the image is broken and it doesn't work, there's an option for that. If one of the common ones we see sometimes is people will accidentally add a piece of content and then not mark it as adult. Now this allows us to be really fast and to get artwork changed over really quickly. But of course, there's also other reason, and you can put anything you like in there.
Yep. Basically, get the resolution quick as possible. One thing also that we do is we can, mentioning regarding the tags of restrictions that you have to see on the site, we do also offer a safe for work mode that's very easy to turn on and off.
Yeah, so your account can be set to allow explicit work, so for when you're at home. But what you also can do is at any time when you're browsing, you can change the available content rating just in the top menu there. So that's very useful for if you're logging in from another place to make sure that you're in control of what shows up.
So the goal is to make it easier for you to do the stuff that you're already doing and not forcing you to do things differently. With that said, we want to make it intuitive regarding what you're already used to. And then this is where we segue into the...
So one of the things that we got a lot of feedback on, one of the first pages we built on the site was it's called we call it the feed page. It's now what's new. And what it was as a linear feed. It was kind of similar way Facebook works. Where it shows a linear feed of all the stuff that's new on the site. And one thing we got as feedback is that a lot of people were used to a sort of like grid gallery view. So one thing we did is, I think we released it a day ago, 2 days ago?
2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago. We did an overhaul of the sort of home page here. And now what it does is it shows new since your last visit, and it shows you all the stuff that's new since then. It then shows, breaks down by date. So this makes it really easy to go back and to keep up to date with content you want. The other thing as well is, of course, there's a clear all button. And I'm not going to hit yes because I need that for the rest of the demo.
The big red button.
Yeah, yeah. Also, there's filters. So if you're not particularly interested in fursuit photos today, you can turn that off. Same with stories and multimedia. Right. But again, the familiar interface, we've tried to incorporate all the new aspects to try and make a good fusion. So for example, on the left-hand side here, we've got all the popular things that you're likely to need and likely to use on a regular basis. So for example, this is the what's new. So this is, it's like an inbox style, so you can clear it all. But we also have following, which is a list of everything that has been posted by people you watch, including a while ago. So you can keep going, and it loads more. And you can go all the way back quite far to see stuff that you maybe have made it go away without looking. One of the other big bits of feedback we got was splitting out content from everything else. So for example, we moved all the activity history, which is like, what are my friends doing? What are they posting? Who's commenting on what? Sick Leaf Clover posted something 2 minutes ago. This is a sort of like feed if you want to go and see what's going on. It helps you keep track of your friends that maybe aren't creating content, but maybe they're participating in a community, Yeah. And notifications. We've got this little alarm bell in the corner. This is live as well, so as things pop up, it changes color, and it shows who's followed you and what are people doing. And of course, you got your own section for that. But anyway, the point is that we're trying to incorporate areas of things that you're used to using with things that are new and useful.
And one thing to segue into that is the feedback side. So everyone kind of has their own little thing that they like to see it from sites, be it past experiences, be it the way they would like to have the website run. Obviously, incorporating too many things presents a problem in its own right. So with that, we have a very democratic system on how we want to provide feedback, which is what Vark is showing on the case.
Yep. Support.furrynetwork.com is also the button at the top with a big blue question mark. One thing that we've implemented is basically a voting system whereby anybody can suggest an idea or an improvement or report a bug. And what will happen is if we find that a lot of the time people have little tweaks, or some people will come up with great ideas. And it's very easy to get buried, to have those ideas get buried. So what we've done is we've implemented it in such a way so that the best ideas are the ones usually that end up getting the most votes. So for example, this one, which is account privacy for non-registered users. This is something that we know is very important to everybody, whereas you can control if search engines are indexing your page, or control if randoms that aren't a part of the community can go and view your page. Now this got 106 votes, and it was the #1 most requested feature, so we added it.
As part of the beta.
Yeah. The other thing is some projects or some aspects come into things that end up snowballing to really big, really valuable things. So for example, group support is something that we've got a lot of discussion about how to do groups properly. And what we ended up doing for that is we decided to put that off to after release and to make it really, really good. Because a lot of the time, if you implement a small little bit of a feature, you always end up like there's these 3 things that'd be really easy to do or they're really valuable to do. And if you build it all in one go, it tends to come out really good.
So what Varka just said in normal people terms is if the community is going to keep growing and changing, the site has to do so too.
Absolutely.
And the best way to do that is have the community tell us how to do it. That's what this is. That's how that works. Everybody suggests anything, and people vote on it. That's how we figure out what's most important to the community and what we can do to change and grow with it.
Again, consider it as a democracy.
Cool. So one little feature I'm going to just show, because I really like this, is we built in multiple character supports right out of the box. So you have one login that's your email address, and you log into the site, and you can have multiple accounts under that one email address. So in this case, we've got Norris, and we've made a new character called Happy Dragon. And you can set whatever one you want as your default. You can edit the profile, and it's intended sort of like how F-list works, where you create a character that's a certain aspect of your involvement. So we've had a lot of requests for people who wanted to do a work and a play account. So say they're a fursuit maker, they'll have a work account that posts all their creations, and we have another one for where they're faving artwork and chatting with their friends.
That was all.
Okay, cool. So this briefly touched on a lot of the community aspects. Over the content consumer side of things, we've kind of shown a few of these. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on these.
This is really exciting. I really love this.
The best part about this is like this is the meat and potatoes. This is what you're going to be using a lot of the time. One of the things we believe very strongly in is making the site really easy to use. So one thing we did is we made it so that, for example, you have keyboard shortcuts. So you can skip forward and back, and you can browse with one hand. There's also zoom, which is, again, just uses the scroll wheel and dragging around. This also works great on a tablet, because you can do the 2-finger pinch thing.
Absolutely. Mobile phone as well, too.
Yeah, phones work good. The other one is easy download. You just click download. It doesn't open a new window. It just dumps it. If you right-click Save As, you can tell it where it does it, where it saves stuff, and then it'll save to that folder from then on. And again, the thing is a lot of this is based on feedback. So whatever page you clicked on an image from, the little gallery here will show forward and back through that. So at the bottom, you can skip forward and back through whatever collection you happen to be viewing. So whether it was from your feed page, you can skip forward through all the artwork that's new, or someone's gallery, or popular artwork in this case. And there's a back button, because that was, no one wants to like try and hit back on a phone to try and get back to the page you started at. So we've made a lot of effort to try and make this really, really nice to use.
One of the ones I want to talk about that's exciting for me is the hardest part is always going from one site to another, transitioning. And I think Varka can pull it up here, what it's like to transition from other sites. Now, we took into account all the popular sites. I hate having to start over with submissions, having to resubmit them all, comments that I like from friends and stuff, page views, that sort of thing. We have come up with the best and easiest way to transition over from a previous account. So if you have an account on another site and you want to bring everything over to this site and keep all your watches and everything intact, obviously the watches depend on how many people are on our site, but you can do that with this one. You can just transfer over everything, and it's even done into a nice little checkbox so you can pick specifically what you want to bring over and what you don't. And that was something that we kept in mind, mostly because I know a lot of other people out there feel the same way I do, where it sucks having to start over. And this is going to make it a lot easier for you.
Bear in mind as well that, say later on you do want to import something, you're welcome to do that too. You can use the import feature as many times as you'd like.
Yeah, it doesn't import. It only imports new stuff since you last imported. So you don't have to switch to Furry Network right away. You can just keep hitting import to just sync stuff across, and that way you're not burdened with having to update a bunch of sites as well.
Yep. We kind of touched on that a little bit.
Yeah, as you saw with the user feedback, we always encourage people to contribute what their thoughts are, any ideas they have, and to help drive the site forward. It's one of our core values is we believe that the fandom is unique and that the fandom knows what it wants and it definitely deserves better.
Yep.
So the final bit that we wanted to talk about was commissions. This is something that has been very active in. Sorry, here, I'll give it to you. You know more about this.
So who here in the audience has ever gotten a commission or done commissions? Raise the hands. Oh man, it's like 100%. So, pretty much everybody's gone through this process. Me personally, I've been on both sides of it, and I've had good experiences and I've had bad experiences.
Absolutely.
And that's not to say that it's impossible to do this without any support from a website. It's totally possible. I've done it. You can go through PayPal and you can chat through text, or you can do email. But one of the things that I've noticed is that in the furry fandom, there's no like central area where just commissions in general are handled by a professional group. And that's what's so exciting about this site is we have a commission aspect that we're going to be implementing, and it is 100% backed by the site. It is 100% in favor of both the commissioner and the commissionee. Wait, the artist and the commissioning person.
Yep.
And it will always be 100% supported by the site. So you can go to this one place, you can find a marketplace of open artists that are available for commission. You can find popular artists that have open commissions or closed commissions. You can check status of your commissions. I don't know what Varka can show us right now, but
Yeah, so this is a very basic mock-up that we've got so far. We're going to turn this in more into sort of similar to the feed view, where it's sort of like window shopping for an artist, where each artist gets an opportunity to upload a little rectangle of showing off their work, and a little like one-liner of what are they open for, and you'll be able to scroll through, kind of similar to this, but like it'll be like the feed page almost, where you can kind of see who's available right now, because I know that half the battle for me is finding someone who's open for commission. And having a right in front of you is a really good level playing field too, because a lot of the time you'll find that a lot of artists that you're not very aware of will be surprisingly cheap and really affordable and really fast. And you'll not, as was one of those artists, it's very hard to get exposure. And this is one of those sort of playing field leveling things that makes it a lot easier. Is you can find these people. Oh, yeah. So as a test, I'm going to commission Nars.
No.
Yeah. So the way this works, I'll start with the Valiant because he has a price sheet up.
Right.
The way it will work is if you get your account set up, it's kind of similar to how Patreon requires you to put how do you want to get paid, and then you put details in about what's your project. It'll be very similar to that. And the idea is that you put up a price sheet, you put your terms of service or things that you will or won't do in, and then people can go and request a commission. And more importantly, here's a tick box that so far I've been amazed at how many people have been very, very excited for. Get notified. We will email you when a Valiant is open for commissions.
Yep. So basically this, again, looking towards the artist as well as the commissioner, you're able to know exactly what's coming to you as the artist, but also when you're ready to actually do your commissions for the artist.
Yep. I'll come back and show you the announcement thing, which is really cool. You can announce that you're open for commissions and post some artwork. Awesome. It's really great. This is a really rough and ready interface at the moment. This is still in active development, but we're really excited with where it's going. Mm-hmm. I'm actually not going to commission a Valiant. I'm going to commission Nars. Mm-hmm. I'm going to write a message, and you can talk them through priorities.
So when you're open for commissions, now keep in mind that the commission thing is something we're going to be doing in the future. Right now, it's still part of this beta experience. Mm-hmm. When you decide you want to open for commissions, you can put down what you will and what you won't do. You can create a price sheet. You can, as a commissioner, approach an artist and say, hey, I saw you're open, here's my idea, and it shows up as like a note in this chat log that gets archived with all of the commission process. I, as an artist, choose yay or nay. I'll do it or I won't do it, or I want to make changes. I can reply to you through this little chat log. We can negotiate what we want out of each other. You can make your changes, I'll make mine, and then you can put up a proposed price. And the proposed price is more or less a rough guideline of what the entire process is going to be. It might say $100 for a single character over the next 3 weeks. And all of that can still be open, but it's a good rough starting point. And then from there, you'll chisel away at it. You'll start working on rough sketches. You'll tell the commissioner, hey, I can have a sketch for you in the next couple days. And then you can actually upload the sketch as an unlisted thing into the actual chat client of this program. You can go in and you can say, here's your sketch. What do you think? You can live reply and say, change it to this, make the leg bigger, make the horns smaller, and then you just go from there. And it keeps a log of everything that's going on. So if at any point in the process, either party feels like something's not going right, whether the artist is having trouble or the commissioner's not happy with it, you can pull up a admin to go through and regulate it and to figure out what was going on, what was the problem.
To mediate.
Yeah, to mediate it. I foresee it as I don't want to say eBay entirely, but it's more of a, it's just having an actual backed community to the commission side of things. Because right now, commissions are more or less something you just do through email or text. And being on both sides, I've had plenty of experiences where it's like, it'll happen when it happens. You never know.
Yeah.
At least with this aspect, you have some control, whereas the artist feels more like they can figure out exactly what they're going to work on when, and the commissioner can figure out when they're going to get what they're working on. And having it backed by a full professional staff really makes a huge difference. So if there's ever any qualms or complaints or arguments, that staff member can step in, look over the entire chat log, and figure it out from there. That's something I haven't seen in the furry fandom yet, and I think it would help a lot, because I know a lot of stuff gets lost in translation with commissions, and it can be real frustrating to deal with sometimes. Varka's going to go over the details of what this feature is and when it's going to release and everything.
So what I just did here was I had a little mock conversation with Nars, whereby, which is a typical, like, how commissions go. You'll say, hey, you're interested in doing a commission for me of my character? Yeah, okay, cool. Can I get some references? And then uploading it. And the great thing about this is it's all about what you agree on. We know that sometimes it can be very difficult to things change over time. This is a way of formalizing between you and the artist and the commissioner what you're agreeing to do and the price. So in this case, I'm going to charge you. How much do you want to charge for my commission? $50? $50. Let's do $50. Okay, $50.
It's on sale.
Yeah, it's on sale. Yeah. And I'll write in a description here.
While he writes that description, I'm going to be mulling over, do I really want to do this for $50? But I think the general idea is that you can see this is more of like a commerce aspect to the site. And one of the things that we strive for with Furry Network is no ads, 0 ads. The site will be run like a professional site. It's a business. It is going to have professional staff members full-time. The idea is that the funds to run the staff will come from the commissioning system eventually, because a small, very tiny portion of it would go to the actual website. And that's kind of like part of how it works with eBay and everything. You're paying a small amount for a service to have that confidence that your commission is going to be backed by the website, that if anything goes wrong, whether you're the artist or the person receiving, you can find a way to resolve the problem. There's no more like, I paid money and it got halfway done and never got finished, or vice versa, this person was so picky, there's no pleasing him, I cannot make this picture any better. That's where the confidence comes from with the website. So now I have to deal with Varka's $50 commission.
So some of the features we've got are description. We've put in ETAs. One of the things we know that is a marketable thing, especially as me as a commissioner, is if I know I'll get a turnaround of like a week or two, that's worth extra money. I'm willing to pay extra for that. But we know that not all art, it's art. It's a creative process. It happens when it happens.
Absolutely.
So we've built in flexibility, so you can choose how strictly you want to hold yourself to your deadlines. Yeah. So in this case, it's submitted a scope of work. You can accept it and go through payment. And what happens is the entire process is mediated by Furry Network. So in this case, we'll charge a small fee. It's similar to Patreon's pricing to handle the commission process. And for that, we provide buyer and seller protection. So if you follow the Scouts code, basically, you won't be left with left holding art that you've made and you haven't been paid for, and vice versa. If you've paid for something and gotten nothing, we're not going to leave you in the lurch.
It allows you to also build your brand as an artist or even a commissioner. Like, you're able to get those deadlines.
Yeah. So this is a feature we've been working on and drafting, and we're hoping to launch. Our launch date is next Friday. We're officially going to launch the site with advertising, and Valiant's actually working on a really great trailer for this. We're going to do the full launch next Friday. But today, if I log out real quick.
Please look forward to it.
Yep. If you hit sign up today, you can sign up without a key. So today is early availability, and we're keeping this under wraps for now. But our planned date for the grand opening is next Friday.
I want to steal the microphone so bad. So yeah, as Varka said, today's the soft launch. That means it is live. You can go on your phones right now. You can sign up. No keys required. Last year we handed out keys for the big beta. Next Friday is going to be the fully advertised launch. It'll be a big thing. But tell your friends to sign up, give it a shot. I think you guys are going to love it. One of the best things is that it is fully functional on your mobile devices. So everybody that's watching me right now, hopefully they'll start looking down and pulling it up on their phone. That's the thing with this site, is it's not something we're expecting everybody to transition to right away. But if you give it a chance, I promise you'll love it. We also have a bench right over there with Sarmi Wave. We got a bunch of these awesome Furry Network t-shirts. And one of the things I keep saying about Furry Network, I don't want to stand up, is is that it's kind of a chance to leave your mark on the furry fandom. And that's what these shirts sort of represent, is your chance to leave your mark on the furry fandom. We left the Furry Network logo on the back, and we also put a Furry Network logo here on the front. You can walk around, show them off. We've got lots of markers if you guys want to draw on them or go nuts. That's the part of the furry fandom that I love, is the creativity that comes out of stuff. You would never expect to see a shirt walking around with people drawing on them. I mean, you can go to a Guar concert and see shirts covered in who knows what. You walk around, you'll see dust on something, and there's a little cat face drawn in it. That's furries.
Yep.
But yeah, so we have a lot of t-shirts, and we're ready for Q&A. If any of you have questions, you can also go grab shirts, and we'll be milling around for a while as well. So, is the pizza coming?
Yes.
Yes, there's pizza.
Yum.
We got a wide selection, so there should be something for everybody.
But yeah, let's start off with Q&A. So please raise your hand, and we'll point and pick.
Now, we do only have 10 minutes before we have to get off the stage, because I think the next thing coming up is a dance or something. I'm not sure. So we're going to limit it. Yeah, you.
Actually, I'll run down there.
Yeah.
Thank you. This actually works. Basically, what made me curious is I saw when you were presenting the commission part of your website, I had a little interesting, I kind of thought, often more than not, you want to make your website as simple as possible, and you want to eliminate decision fatigue as much as possible. So I feel like, if you're given too many decisions, you don't do anything at all because you feel overwhelmed. So I thought, as an idea, is how Pandora, they take your musical preferences, right? And
yeah.
They try to make a playlist on it. What if you could do something like that, similar to, the artist's favorite, or the user's favorites? You can take their favorites and possibly base something and take a list of artists, produce that from those favorites, and possibly, display that to people.
Yes, exactly. That's one of the things we've been looking at as well. That's the reason why we have the interest field, is so that you can go put things that you're interested in. And in future, one of the features we are hoping to add is sort of like almost an Etsy-style marketplace where you can advertise what your specialties are. And then the site can recommend, hey, these people you might be interested in commissioning because they have things that match what you're interested in.
It's kind of like, as Barker was saying, a marketplace that has advertisements for your interests. And it keeps on growing and evolving for your interests.
Hi. I was wondering, first of all, the commission section, now you mentioned it's sort of like Patreon, but Patreon actually handles the credit card transactions themselves. Is
Yep.
that one thing that you're going to look into doing as well?
We have a active signed credit card processing agreement right now for all kinds of content, including adults. And we've also negotiated with PayPal to allow us to do payouts to artists, including for mature content. So that was one of the hardest barriers to get over, was being able to process payments for with a processor that understands the furries, the furry needs of the market. So yes, there is full credit card processing on the site provided by us.
Great. And the second part of that question is, I can really see this being used by fursuiter commissions as well.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Actual physical products being sent to and from. Do you have any look into like shipping options and things like that in the future?
You
kinda like
bet.
an Etsy? Yeah.
Yep. One of the big advantages is because our main gig is Bad Dragon. We do a lot of shipping and also a lot of credit card processing. So we've been able to use those advantages that we've already built in that business to apply to this one. And again, as you say, there's shipping options. One of the things we actually looked at was like more options than just getting paid all at once when the item is done. If you're making fursuits, you need money to buy the supplies. You need money because you've got a lot of money invested in this. And if you're left high and dry, that's no good for anybody. So again, that's stuff that we're definitely looking towards doing in the future. We think that the whole payments thing is going to be is going to be very entertaining. It's going to be a very good, very fun road for everybody. Next question? I think we're done. Oh, there's one more. Siri, I know you.
Hey, so I had one question about, regarding the commission stuff. Is there going to be any sort of system for kill fee?
For what's the last word? Sorry.
Kill fee. Yeah. So say like video game industry, Magic the Gathering, anything like that. When they commission an artist, established in the beginning is a kill fee where the artist has done a certain amount of work, and then you get halfway through and realize, oh, hey, this isn't working out. Hey, we don't like where this is going. But the artist has done some of the work up to that point. So the kill fee is a percentage that's agreed on.
Okay. Milestones. Yeah, we're going to be building that. That's one of our most requested features. We'll be doing that. Don't worry.
Oh no, don't do it.
So you mentioned future app support
Yes.
for devices. I was curious, do you guys actually plan on having an open API that developers can possibly create their own apps for your site?
That's a good question. The whole site is built on an API right now. If you're particularly savvy, even without documentation, we're confident that you can build a app that talks to the site. It uploads things, that faves things, that lets you see a feed. Right now, we've actually got in the support thread, we've got a voting thing going on for that as well. And that's primarily where we'll end up prioritizing the API. But the stuff's there, and you can use it. Again, if there's small tweaks that are needed to support app developers, that is something we are totally down for.
Anybody a Destiny fan? Dang. So Destiny has a companion app that you can use on your phone that actually integrates with the game itself. Basically, you're able to upload your arsenal via the tablet, the phone, anything. A similar thing, once you have the API already integrated, that's what we're looking for, is like a companion app that we can use that's kind of like your little helper, almost like a PDA for the site itself.
It's going to be the last question because we got to clear the stage for the next group.
Speak up a little bit.
It's the last question, apparently.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
so I was wondering if the site's under active development by other furries or if there's other companies involved in the development.
Well, they weren't furries when they started. But we went to their office, and yeah, it's been a fun road for the last year for them. So, yeah.
They just gotta get personas.
Yeah, we still have some persona ideas for them,
Yeah.
but thank you everybody for coming.
So thank you. Yeah, as Varka mentioned, thank you so much for coming. The pizza is arriving. However, there's a lot of it. So we're getting more helpers down to actually pick up the pizza here. Please, if you could, gather around to the left of the stage, and we'll be able to get that pizza sorted out for you. Thank you again, guys, so much. We deeply appreciate your time.
T-shirts over here.
Oh, yeah, T-shirts as well.
Come get 'em.
We got shirts, lots of shirts. Buy the shirts.